Hello, my name is Alexi, and this is the answer to the video which I watched at Friday. Now is Sunday, so the video told that people are experiencing that they are disconnected from the spiritual world, like DMT, smoking DMT, and they got cut off, like they can't access there anymore. And this is my story telling about how I made my way back to the spiritual realm. And there's a backstory of my spiritual awakening. And I I also say I'm sorry for my English, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna tell you at my words as good as I can. I come from Veteli in Western Finland. There's like 3,000 people there, and I used to work like over 10 years in water utility company. It's a public company which cleans water and pumping wastewater to the cleaning factory. Yeah, and I made my way to be the boss of this company, and I kind of thought that I was way more better than other people, so I didn't listen a lot others, and I made mistakes, many huge mistakes, and I tried to hide them. When I find out that I was made these big mistakes, I tried to cover my my print. And I also changed the terms of delivery to not to get cut. I was afraid to lose it all, but I already had lost it all, because I was a bit heavy drug abuser at the same time, and I lived a double life. And I had this first experiences of psychedelics something like 10 years ago, and I was thinking that, whoa, shit, these are the best things ever. I need to tell this to everybody. But I didn't do that because I was able to make my way to the top and run the company. So I was scared. I think that it's just a thing, it doesn't really exist. Well, I did a lot of drugs, mainly smoking marijuana, cannabis, hash, amphetamines, stimulants, like ecstasy, not opioids and not injection. I've never experienced DMT, but I think the world's spiritual realms, which rooms and DMT, and I've took LSD. They are a bit same, but also a bit different. But I'm inspired by the video of locked doors so much that I need to share this story. At some point of my spiritual journey, I had also this experience of these doors getting shut, and I was really scared about that. And I think the reason was I wasn't loving. I was living false life against my inner truths, and that was a very huge mistake which led to the experience of shuttered doors. So I had a burnout also, and I was depressed. I feel anxious, and nothing in my life wasn't true. I lived false life. So I was thinking that what is wrong now? What I can do? So I face my fears, coming out with my inner truth, and it finds out it's the right way. Things was going to scroll better, you know? At the step by step, I was not feeling so depressed and anxious anymore. And last Friday, I had this so peaceful trip. I was 7 months sober, and I thought that now is the time to take shrooms, not anything else, because the shrooms are also told me that you can't use any other drugs. Well, I can use, but it definitely cuts off the way to the spiritual realm. In my experience, this is only my truth. Yours can be different from me. My first huge psychosis, which I think was the dark night of the soul, is that time when I thought I met my twin flame, and when I understood this connection, this weird thing, what was happening to me, I kind of blow out. It was, what is this? And I was ready to give everything from my life to this connection. I was also in trap of an illusion of this other human, that the other human is giving me something that I'm not as alone in myself. And that's not true. Because if I'm selling myself to the other and giving everything from me to the other, I'm not full. I need to be full first. And then I can love other human as full. That's the learning of this journey. Before that first huge psychosis, I was experiencing trips like many trips which were doors closed, and I was like, why I can't go there anymore? Why I'm still stuck in this situation, like where the surface is like stuck, it's not living anymore. It's like uh, NPC. I was living NPC life. It life wasn't moving anymore. It was stuck. Everything was stuck. And everything was so my life used to play these same patterns. So the spiritual realm was also stuck. And the last hit to that point was that I experienced that huge psychosis, which lead my way to sobriety. I was thinking I can't do this anymore. That was like 4 years ago. And I've been working on it much. There's up and downs in that, but 4 years I've been like doing that work, inner work. And now I thought it's time to take a leap of faith and eat shrooms again. And that was so beautiful. Not the last time, but at the previous summer I did shrooms, and it was also a beautiful experience. And at this point I used 2 weeks drugs after that, because I thought I can do that again, which was a big no. I experienced it. The spiritual realm came so scary and to me, and I was like, oh shit, again. But I believe that rooms have so huge potence of what's the word? Sorry. Healing. Yeah, heal ourselves. That I'm so crazy that I needed to do that again and again, because I believe in this stuff. But again, it's only my experience that the shrooms are the answer. You, we as human, we can be very high vibrating beings without any drugs. I think that's the true. But these different kind of substances can be a healing point, but they are not the answer. We must do the work, inner work. I'd like to tell a few more stories about my trips. At some point, I also thought that I was a Jesus, and that was a very scary thing. But I think that there's many people who experience the same thing, and that's interesting, because what I've learned and what I think the way how it goes is that awakening is a process that Jesus made. It's the same way that we all, each of us, can step in. It's a hard path to love every side of myself, to love the darkest sides also, not the good ones as we think, as what we can't see. Love everything. I want to tell shortly a few stories also. I used to live in own house in a relationship with my ex-girlfriend. We had two wonderful girls. I have two daughters, and I loved her, but it wasn't it didn't came deep from my soul. It was I don't know the word, but surface love. Like, but she's wonderful woman, yeah. But I wasn't loving myself enough. I was giving the idea of loving that somebody needs to love me as I am. But I wasn't full, so how can she love me if I wasn't authentic version of myself? Anyway, we lived in a house and we have this own yard, and there was a over 100 years old pine trees, and I just decided that let's cut them all off. And before that I had this terrifying trip. I I was like screaming inside my head that why I did cut these trees off. The beings were told me that what the hell are you doing, man? I didn't understand. But at the point I did understand, and that was a really painful experience. And at that point I still was stuck in this period of my life which I wasn't speaking my inner truth. And that was also like inside me. There was many scary things inside me, and I wasn't telling about this. At my first trip, the shrooms told me to tell my father and mother that I loved them and that I'm sorry for everything and I forgive everything. And that was also one thing which I never told until I started to tell my inner truth. And this journey began year 24, and I'm still on it. But I have some many fruits from this journey, speaking my inner truth. The shrooms also have told me that quit smoking marijuana. I was so drug abused boy. I didn't see that as a problem. I thought like, hey, everybody is using drugs all the time. This is okay. I was too high all the time. I was not grounded. I don't say yes or no to drugs. They are just substances. And it's our responsibility to use them right. Like respect drugs. and respect other beings. Respect everything, love. They are so important. Last summer, I also had this experience of Jesus tapping my shoulder. That good, Alexi, you have been working well. And that was something that I can't describe. But I remember that it was a warm situation. I started to do these videos 1 year ago, and that was also the one thing that shrooms told me to do. You have to share your experiences to the world. You cannot keep them in you because they value a lot. And I've became a whole different person. I'm still me, but like I'm fulfilled with something wonderful. I feel high even when I'm sober. Most of the time, not all the time, but the sobriety is giving so much. I used to drink or smoke or do drugs almost every day, almost more than 10 years. So I kinda know what I'm talking about. And some people may think that I'm totally crazy, and that's fine. But the most important thing is that I know inside me that I'm in a good place now. I'm in the best situation in my life, and I feel a lot of love and hope, and I believe in good. And you know what, guys and girls, sisters and brothers? I'm so scared of speaking English now, sharing my experiences in English, because I think that I'm I'm not good enough in English to tell this story to everyone. But maybe that's a bit Finnish thinking. We in Finland think that we can't speak English correctly, so I can't share my feelings and stories and everything because I can't do the things right. But that's wrong. I can tell my stories. I think that you guys understand what I'm talking about, even if I don't talk as the kielioppi. As the grammar says. I think grammar is kielioppi in English, Finnish, every way. Every. Point of my story is we all make mistakes and we can't. We can't spell the world words right, and we are humans. We are not machines. We can't do things like machines. And we don't need to. Why to take stimulants to be productive part of companies? That's a nowadays. At the school, kids do drugs because they can't feel that they can handle it all. This world is so hard place to live. And as a sensitive humans, it sometimes is too much. The sensitive people are usually the people who goes to the path of drugs because they can't handle it. The world is too aggressive. And this is also, in my opinion, in my experience. This is my story shortly. I can't tell it all in English because it's not my native language, but this is shortly my story and I want to share it. Inspired by the video of doors closed in spiritual realm. Because in my experience, the doors are open again if we do our inner work. Like living in our truth, speaking our truth, not false. And that's very, very scary thing if you have done things wrong. But there's no wrong and right. In my opinion, these the scariest things which I have experienced, at the last they have been the best things that never happened to me. Never ever. These experiences have taught me so lot about love and about being a human. Let's love this wonderful planet and each others. You are a wonderful being. I moved to Jyväskylä last summer and I'm agreed to nursing program and I want to heal myself and others by listening and telling stories, sharing experiences. Look into each other's eyes while we speak, not to the phones, you know. The phones we have are wonderful tools, but we can really destroy ourselves if we don't take responsibility of using them wisely. This video is good example. This video can be shared to everyone around the world just by one click. And that's magic. At the age of 16, I had this near-death experience and I saw a light at the end of the tunnel and the voices told me that your time isn't yet. And I have wondered many times, well, when it is? when I was young, I experienced a lot of anxiety and depression, and like the weight of world was on my shoulders, and this everything was just too much. I'm so sensitive person that it was like I can't describe that feeling, but you know when you drink first time, that's like whoa. And with drugs it went far so far. It helped me. I didn't need to live the painful moments when I was high. And this drug abuser life started after the crash. I used to drink alcohol and I wanted to screw out my head. But the drug abuse started after the car accident. But I took sleeping pills at the night when this accident happened, and also alcohol. I didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted to be cool as the other boys. I needed to do something cool, which is very stupid. Yeah, I may sound very crazy, and I am crazy. Who wants to be a genius or a human who knows all? I don't know all. I don't know anything at all. And that's a blessing to not to know. Thank you for watching and listening my story. There's a lot of stories in Finnish. I don't know. Can the YouTube translate my stories to English? Text subtitles, maybe? I don't know. But thank you very much.